Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. A dreidel to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh, Christmas tree, how loyal are your needles. You're green not only in summertime, no, in the winter when it slows. Oh, Christmas tree, how loyal are your needles. Oh, Tannenbaum, wie wir sind im Blätter. Dun grunts nicht nur soon Sommerzeit, nein auch im Winter, wenn es schneit. Oh, Tannenbaum, wie true sind die Blätter. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. Been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one thing I really, really need, the deed to a platinum mine, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with the holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sit down, everybody. The special's about to begin. Oh, oh, hey, oh, oh. It's the most shadiest time of the most shadiest year of our lives. Oh, hello, and welcome to the Christmas special, holiday special. Welcome to my special. And let me be the first to say, happy, happy. I can't do this. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know you came because it is the holidays and you wanted to do something fun, but I just don't have it, okay? I just don't have what it takes to do anything right now. I'm not having one of these 2020 creative, flourishing, thriving times, okay? I'm not one of these people that's, oh, well, you know that Shakespeare wrote his blood in the plague. I'm sorry. It's just like, look at where we are, okay? It's not so, we're in my apartment, for crying out loud. Again. Every day. These chopsticks have been here for months. And I'm alone. Again. I just feel like my dreams have gone from wanting to spread joy and laughter to wanting to make sure I don't spread spittle all over all the sweet old ladies in my neighborhood. Like, that's my goal. I don't know, I just used to think the biggest long shot of my life was having a career in show business. Okay, but now I realize it's working on reversing climate change. I mean, fuck, it's all such a mess. So impossible. This Christmas is impossible. And, you know, maybe in a way it's all for the best, you know? Maybe this is the most honest holiday season we've ever had. You know, we're not surrounded by festivities and merriment and deck the halls. Oh, ooh, a mistletoe. You know, it's just us sitting alone in our apartments, facing our own mortality, and, you know, being in our own personal void, which is maybe the most honest we've all ever been in our lives, you know? Maybe in the end, we really are just all alone. But you're not alone! Who said that? You've never been alone. Ah! Oh my God. Oh my God, so disgusting. But can't you see? You're disgusting too. I suppose you're right. You see you, me, the spider watching you every day as you shower, the bacteria on your toothbrush, we are all one. You're right, I never looked at it that way before. Now, let's get you into something more festive. Wow! Look at me! I'm so beautiful and elegant. And look at my apartment. It's a holiday dream. And it's snowing. You've even reversed climate change. Ah! Why are you you doing this for me?
I tried to kill you.
I'm doing this because
we are all connected. We are all the same. Every day together. Nothing separates us. The atoms, they flow through us. We might seem separate, but we are all one. Never alone, always connected, together, part of the same mysterious universe. So Merry Christmas, carry on. She's right, and I'm so excited to be sharing this night with all of you. I sure hope you have roaches at home as well. Tonight, we have all kinds of performers, comedians, musicians, even a historian. So cozy up next to the fire, make yourself a cup of hot cocoa.
Grab your cat.
And enjoy this night of wonder.
now we have my old roommate and his lovely partner Janeece playing This Christmas. Please welcome Tony and Janeece.
Hang on the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Shake your hand, shake your head. Ooh. Oh, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, shake your head. Ooh, yeah.
And now, a true story from comedian Ever Mainard that will make you feel like you're at a Christmas party for real.
I tell people that I got it as a joke, but I didn't get it as a joke. I sincerely got it. I was 18, and I remember closing up a Starbucks. I worked as a shift manager and locked up at 10 p.m. and I went to a tattoo parlor. The decision has just haunted me ever since. I have a, it's right above my butt. I guess you could call it a tramp stamp. I'm just very aware of anything, whenever I bend over. I brought a Van Gogh wall calendar to a tattoo parlor and said, I want the Starry Night painting as a tattoo, but only the sky, no village. So yeah, I think one of the worst decisions of my life was getting a Starry Night tattoo, just the sky on my lower back.
Up next, Los Angeles filmmaker Joshua Turek shows us that there's nothing more festive than divorce.
It's been a long year, but you made it. Time to relax and sink into the holiday spirit, one cup of eggnog at a time. In this age of divisiveness, it's important to reflect on how similar we all actually are. And wait, what? She wants the kids for Hanukkah. Jesus Christ. She's not even Jewish. And you already bought the menorah candles. You can't just return things these days. Oh well, I guess drama doesn't take a winter vacation. This plant needs water. Nurture, like all of us. Fine, she can have them on the odd nights, since she always was a bit of an oddball. Ho, ho, ho. Compromise. Now there's a gift we could all use. It ain't flashy, but it's functional.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Here with her anthropological take on Christmas is a song by Rena Hundert.
Growing up Jewish, I didn't have Christmas, so I never really understood it. But this year, I did some research, and boy, did I make some discoveries. And they go something like this. I mean, what's Christmas about anyway? Christmas is about a home invasion from an alien who's got a really weird spacecraft that's run by sentient reindeer. I mean, you might think Santa's just some guy with a beard, right? But think about it, he lives forever, he wears the same clothes, he can travel everywhere at light speed. I mean, how does he afford to get the presents for everyone on Earth? Doesn't he need some money or a job, or does he have alien technology that conjures everything? 'Cause it's Christmas, Christmas, that's what it's about. It's about aliens, aliens coming from above. They're coming, coming, coming to give you some presents, presents. Boo, 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 boo. Now I know what you're thinking, but yes, the elves are also aliens. They're mini aliens and they make stuff. They're part of the technology. They make presents for Christianity. How does Christianity play into it? Well, Jesus is the Son and God is the Father and Santa is the uncle. And they are all from other planets, and the Easter Bunny is their furry little friend. Because it's Christmas, Christmas, that's what it's about. It's about aliens, aliens coming from above. They're coming, coming, coming to give you some presents, presents. Boo, 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 boo. Music solo, music solo. It's a solo music. This is the time for the musicians to play their tunes and really shine. Now you may ask, what about the leprechaun? People think it's not part of the same Christian trope, but actually he is one of the elves that escaped his life of all work and no play. He slid down the rainbow to Iron Land, where he is worshipped worship like a god. 'Cause it's Christmas, Christmas, that's what it's about. It's about aliens, aliens, coming from above. They're coming, coming, coming to give you some presents, presents. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. And thank you very much.
This has been a year of tough times, crying, poring over the news, being frightened, preparing for civil war, etc. But it's also been a lovely time of playing video games, doing puzzles, baking bread, and talking to loved ones on Zoom. I hope you enjoy. I've created a little special segment called Norwegian Jokes with My Grandpa. Enjoy this clip.
Ole was feeling poorly, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, you're in bad shape. We're going to have to take you to the hospital." And they got to the hospital, and they said, "Oh, Ole, you're going to die, And Ole said, "Oh, can I go home? I don't want to die in the hospital." And he said, "Okay, we'll let you go home to die." So we went home, and he got his bedroom. He and Inga's bedroom was upstairs. So he finally got upstairs and was in bed there, and up there a couple days, and Inga was taking good care of him. And he was up there, and finally he woke up in the morning, and he smelled lefse downstairs, and he said, "Oh, Inga's making me some lefse. What a good woman. I am so happy." And he got himself out of bed, and he crawled down the stairs and gone through the living room, and there on the table in the kitchen he could see some steaming lefse. And he crawled and he crawled, and he finally got into the kitchen, and he reached up and he was going to get some lefse, and Inga came out and slapped his hand and said, "Don't you dare, that's for the funeral."
So, now you see where I get it from. Let's move back onto the show. I hope you enjoy what we have in store for you next.
Oh, here she is, on her way to strum her way into your hearts. It's Clare Okane.
I'll do this video. It's Christmas time, what can I say? Time of giving, time of cheer. The bells are ringing. Off the hook. Sleigh bells are also ringing. It's really loud outside because it's Christmas time. But we're all getting through it together. And that's what's most important, that we're all getting. I've got a little bundle of Christmas cheer right here for you, and its name is The Banjo, and it's going to be playing a song called Hungry, Hungry Santa, parentheses, Claus, and I hope you like it. Big man, come down chimney, give gift, go away, don't come back for a year. I like that. Santa baby gonna lose his mind. He said, four-leaf clover ain't no friend of mine. Easter bunny better watch his back, 'cause Santa Claus forgot to eat today. And today is Christmas, so he's gone. stressful, I'd imagine. Just because he's violent and angry doesn't mean he wants to hurt you. Oh. He's pumped his belly full of reindeer meat. Kids are waiting around the Christmas tree. Not so jolly, but at least he's fed. Santa Claus forgot to eat today. And today is Christmas. And now he takes a nap for one long year. So people everywhere have no fear. We won't forget the lesson we have learned, 'cause Santa Claus forgot to eat today. And today is Christmas. Santa Claus forgot to eat today. And today was Christmas, so Santa Claus forgot to eat today. Santa Claus forgot to eat today. Look, Santa Claus, fucking his shit to poop.
Where have the stand-up comics been telling their jokes this year since they can't be on stage? Well, in their cars, of course. Give it up for Kevin Camia, everyone.
It's been a really, really tough year. Our ex-president called the virus the China virus. So what happened was a lot of Asian people were getting beat up. And it's just an awful, awful stereotype to start. And what makes it even worse is now people are finding out that we all don't know karate. A lot of people are getting mad at statues this year. That was good. It makes me feel dumb because every time they tear down a statue, I don't know who it is. Never heard of them. You know how some people think all Asians are Chinese? I think all statues are George Washington. And I found this out also. I found out that in the Civil War, more people died of dysentery than in regular battle. It's an interesting fact. So I think we should just keep all the statues. Keep Confederate statues up. Don't tear them down, but just right next to them, build another statue of a giant bucket of diarrhea. Because I think people need to know their history. And that's a 6th grade field trip you're never going to forget. Right? Like, you may not know who Robert E. Lee was, but you'll definitely not forget the corn. The corn?
The corn.
A lot of looting happened this year. I did not loot because I'd be horrible at it. I'm too indecisive. I'd probably walk out with twin sheets and a girl's bike. What would you loot? I know if it was the 13th century, I would loot lutes. Like triangular guitars for everyone. During the pandemic, I wanted to do a lot of different things. I want to learn the sitar. Do you know the sitar? It's that instrument, right? That when you strum the strings, it sounds like you're walking into a room filled with pillows. It's a very relaxing sound. But I don't know where to get a sitar. I don't know where do you go? Sitar Center?
Sitar Center?
Here's a little tip. If you're trying to buy a sitar, don't ask your Indian friend where to get one, because they get mad. They don't like that question. Especially if they're Guatemalan. They just, oh boy. This year has been nuts. I remember when Super Spreader was what you called a cheating ex-girlfriend. Woo-hoo! A lot of protests this year. I think some of my favorite protesters were the gym protesters. They came out strong right in the beginning of the pandemic. They're like, you're not gonna close our gym, you know. Even a Pilates instructor lit themselves on fire like a Buddhist monk. It was incredible. But I mean, for what? Really? For what? For my right to walk on a treadmill? Okay, thank you.
Be amazed by Aviva Siegel's inspiring tale and believe in Christmas miracles again.
Gosh, you know, the holidays is really getting me thinking about past loves. You know, it always kind of does that. For example, on one Christmas Eve, I got a call from my boyfriend at the time, and I answered, "Hello, Mark." And then a woman responded. She said, "This is not Mark." And then I said, "Who is this?" And she said, "Mark's girlfriend. And I'm pregnant with his baby, and I need you to stay away." And it's just those kinds of nostalgic memories that makes the holidays so rich with raw emotional power. And that's truly the magic of it. So I love hearing stories of past loves, current loves, loves of all kinds. And everyone has that story. It's so important to remember. My roommate, who I've only gotten to know recently, has told me about one of her great loves. Let's take a listen. Yes, it was my high school sweetheart. We were deeply in love, but unfortunately he suffered a decapitation at such a young age.
Severed from his body, rolling to the ground, antennas flinging around. His body walked toward me, his arms wrapped around me, his heart beat inside his chest. I held him so tightly as I made love to his headless body. It was then that I knew it was still you, Jerry. You can live without your head, but not your heart. You can live without your head, but not your heart. Even though your head flew off, our love won't tear apart. You can live without your head, but not your heart. Then after a week, I saw him growing weak. He wasn't the first to die of thirst. A roach's life is gone, but my heart will go on and love again.
Jerry. Wow. Love truly is the most powerful force on the planet. And I love all of you. And that's why I'm giving you the miracle of even more Christmas holiday entertainment. Without further ado, we have more show for you. And I hope that you love it as much as I do.
Now it's time for an educational moment. If you're like me and you read very few books this year, even though we were stuck inside in a pandemic, you'll appreciate this moment of historical knowledge on Christmases past with Chelsea Weber Smith from American Hysteria.
Hello, I'm Chelsea Weber Smith, and I host a podcast called American Hysteria, and part of what we talk about on the show is weird shit from our weird American past. I'm not a Christmas person, so I wanted to bring back a little bit of Halloween. Here's Dr. Skull. And talk about how our Christmas past used to be a lot more about telling ghost stories and stories of murder and true crime than it ever was about cheerful shit like that. So this is a piece I wrote a while ago, so I hope you enjoy it. The Christmas season we know now is an almost manically happy one. The cheerful shine of tinsel and the twinkle of fake snow, gifts wrapped tightly in bright colors and patterns, cookies and cider, Santa smiling warmly from his throne at the mall, and adults in onesie pajamas, elf on a shelf. The most common story we hear in December is of a reindeer overcoming adversity to lead Santa's sleigh, delivering new toys to all the good, happy children. We watch Frosty the Snowman, A Charlie Brown Christmas, we laugh and quote along to Elf or A Christmas Story, listening to the same smooth crooners, sing the same mild songs we all know so deeply in our bones. One story that we hear every year, often in its Muppet form, stands slightly apart. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. There's an undeniable darkness to this tale that features not one, not two, but three ghosts that lead rich sociopath Ebenezer Scrooge to have a more generous change of heart. There was a time where stories like A Christmas Carol dominated the Christmas season. In fact, prior to 1915, ghost stories and even stories of true crime were a Christmas tradition. Quote, Whenever 5 or 6 English-speaking people meet round a fire on Christmas Eve, they start telling each other ghost stories. Jerome K. Jerome wrote in his book Told After Supper, published in 1891, quote, "Nothing satisfies us on Christmas Eve but to hear each other tell authentic anecdotes about specters. It's a genial, festive season, and we love to muse upon graves, the dead, bodies, and murder, especially blood." Winter is a time of literal darkness and cold, and similar to fall harvest time, when the dark begins to loom, many communities throughout history have been prone to matching this loss of daylight with darker tales of woe. Combine that with the booze that flowed much more freely during the holiday time, and tales of true crime and the paranormal also seem to flow freely. Our Halloween and harvest time traditions have their origins in pagan holidays, Halloween being Samhain, and similarly, the darker aspects of Christmas have their origins in pagan traditions. Quote, "Christmas is celebrated in Europe and the US was originally connected to the pagan winter solstice celebration and the festival known as Yule. The darkest day of the year was seen by many as a time when the dead would have particularly good access to the living," noted Justin Daniels, a religious studies professor. Before the birth of Christ and the creation of Christmas, this season was known by the pagans as Yule, and it had some pretty ghostly lore. A common folk myth, the Wild Hunt, involved a group of supernatural hunters passing in wild pursuit. They were considered to be ghosts, elves, or fairies. If one were to see the huntsmen passing, it was thought that they might be abducted and taken to an underworld or fairy kingdom. It was also considered to be a bad omen, one that might predict a coming war or plague or a pandemic. Just like most things that have been suppressed, just like most fun things that have been suppressed, it was the Puritans who were to blame for the fading out of the more decadent and darker parts of the Christmas season. Super Puritan Oliver Cromwell, known as the Lord and Protector of England, Scotland, and Ireland, came ready to destroy all fun in the mid-1600s. He was, quote, "on a mission to cleanse the nation of its most decadent excesses." On the top of the list was Christmas and all its festive trappings. Most famously, Cromwell banned the singing of Christmas carols. Talk about a war on Christmas. He believed that all these things had pagan roots, which meant that they were of the devil. This feeling spread to the New World, where Protestants, especially Puritans, banned Christmas celebrations altogether. And then, just to show the Catholics, they worked all day long on Christmas to prove their point. Gotcha. The Industrial Revolution also saw folks working longer hours on holidays, and Christmas seemed to all but die out. Come the 1800s, Britain and the US saw a resurgence of Christmas. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which was published in 1863, came around the same time as the invention of the Christmas card, and then the subsequent commercialization of the holiday season in Great Britain, in which gift-giving became the main tradition. In classic English style, ghost stories caught on again as a result of Dickens' work, and more authors began publishing them around Christmas time, and more folks began sharing their own around fires or dinner tables. American author Washington Irving recounts stumbling onto a group telling Christmas ghost stories in the 1800s, quote, "When I returned to the drawing room, I found the company seated around the fire, listening to the parson, who was deeply ensconced in a high-backed oaken chair. From this venerable piece of furniture, he was dealing forth strange accounts of popular superstitions and the legends of the surrounding country, with which he had become acquainted in the course of his antiquarian researches." As late as 1915, Christmas annuals were full of ghost stories. In fact, it was their main draw. Lacking television, families would read these stories aloud and then tell their own. But the commercialization, as well as the invention of radio and TV, far outweighed the social aspect of Christmas time. And with it went the ghost stories and the stories of bloody murder. However, we can see evidence of the tradition in the lyrics of one of the most popular Christmas songs of all time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. Thank you for listening to The Truth About Christmas, and I do hope that you'll bring a little bit of that energy to whatever the fuck you're doing this year, because I have no idea. Regardless, a little bit of darkness for a little bit of a dark time. Sending you all love, and thank you for listening.
How dusty is your chimney? Don't worry, Monisa Brown and Company are here to save the day. Just when you thought this special wasn't going to get any more precious, my very own kid brother sings as Kermit the Frog. This is One More Sleep, sung and played by Jake Seeley.
There's magic in the air this evening, magic in the air. This world is at her best, you know, when people love and care. The promise of excitement is one the night will keep. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas. The world has got a smile today, the world has got a glow. There's no such thing as strangers when a stranger says hello. And everyone is family, we're having so much fun. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas. 'Tis the season to be jolly and joyous. With a burst of pleasure we feel it arrive. 'Tis the season when the saints can employ us to spread the news about peace and to keep love alive. There's something in the wind today that's good for everyone. Yes, faith is in our hearts today. We're shining like the sun, and everyone can feel it. The feeling's running deep. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas Day.
I'm having so much fun in this show. I sure would hate for it to end. That's why I've decided to drag it out a little bit by reading The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm not going to read The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Although I will say that I have dealt with the isolation this year by reading books, traveling to far-off places, and meeting wonderful crew of characters. And this Christmas you might be feeling, isolated and wretched and unwanted, unlovable, and frankly unmerry. So I did think I'd tell you a tale of someone who might be kind of like you at Christmas time. This is Gollum's Best Christmas. It was Christmas Eve in the misty mountains. Down in the dark next to his lake, Gollum almost could feel it was a special day. He felt extra lonely this Christmas time. He could remember before his obsessive demise. He had friends and a home and would get presents each year. Each present was precious and filled him with cheer. Of course, when the Ring of Power took over his life, no one wanted to hang with him. He could not get a wife. But now even that was gone, and he was all alone. His precious, as you may know, was stolen by Bilbo. A nasty thief indeed. He stole the last friend that Gollum really did need. This was the worst Christmas for Gollum. He couldn't even catch a fish. He was hungry and cold, with not one holiday dish. Little did he know he wasn't alone. Someone had snuck in and left a little something in his den. Gollum almost completely missed it as he started to settle in. But suddenly he saw it out of the corner of his eye. Shiny and flopping, there was a huge live fish with a tag signed, "Merry Christmas, love Sauron. I'll be back for this when you're dead." "Yes, yes!" he cheered as he bit into the cart. But as he bit in, he felt something sharp. "What a nasty trick," he said as he slipped his hand in. But when he touched it, he knew. Emotions filled to the brim. "My precious, my precious, my precious is here! What a joyous Christmas and a happy New Year!" This was Gollum's best Christmas, the most joyous of days. To have his precious back with him made him feel more than I could say. Of course, this did mean the ring was never destroyed and that all of Middle-earth burned. An era of darkness descended. But this Christmas, Gollum was happy. And isn't that all that matters, really? Happy holidays, everybody. Let's get back to the special. We have more performers to show you, and I can't wait for you to see. Let's watch together.
Let's see what Lindsay Adams is cooking up for the holidays. Let's go bake stuff with Lindsay.
Being a baker is great. I would say it's definitely my passion. You know, a lot of people ask me, if you're a baker, how do you not eat all of it? And it's like, when you're a professional, it's called self-control. I'm sorry, what? Do I have a little? Oh. Okay. What was I saying? Self-control. So when you're baking, I recommend drinking something to offset the flavors because you really want to make sure that you get it right too. Why do I feel wasted? Baking this holiday season doesn't have to be a chore. It could be something that you love, that you share, that you feel joy about. You definitely don't want to be eating the dough anyway. It has raw egg in it. That's crazy. Anywho, this pandemic is not good. And don't even think about licking the spatula. Did you press pause? A little funky, but not bad. Again, making cookies for the season doesn't mean you have to make yourself sick with sugar. There's frosting in my hair. Okay, whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Just eat all the cookies.
And now, an intimate Christmas reading with the hilarious Courtney Karwal.
Happy holidays! My favorite time of year where I crack open my old high school diary and I take a reading from it. Drink to that. Yum. And yesterday was that I found out that the kid that I likes me. Yippee. Oh. A list of things that I want to do. At the top of the list I have, I want to party like a rock star, with a check mark next to it. Get to the final level in Guitar Hero. All the dudes want to tap this. Spot number 3, I have make out, parentheses, ha 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 ha, with a check mark next to it. And I remember I only put that check mark there because if I was to die and someone was to find my journal, I wanted them to believe that I had made out. Go to a club, have been to one, kind of. Take more salsa lessons at ballroom dance. I did do that, but, well, I took it with my uncle. Here's what happened. Took it with his ex-wife in a last-ditch effort to save their marriage. Things didn't work, so I got the call. I was like, put me in, coach, I'm ready to dance. Yeah, a little weird, but it was pretty fun. Go to a clothing optional beach and have my clothes be optional. I've been to a naked beach, but I've never had my clothes off. I actually went with my grandparents one. None of us got nude. It's just where the best waves were. Run through a cornfield with no path. Thought that was super romantic. And the easiest one of all, I have make a triple decker cake with different colored icings. I have yet to do that. Be able to express myself, feelings, and no longer be bossed around by unexceptionally rude people. Okay, well there was someone who definitely hurt me. I definitely am writing about it in this list. Though I did ask Nathan Webb out. Oops, probably shouldn't say his last name. I asked him out, hey Nathan, do you want to go out with me? And he was like, can I think about it? I let 7th period go by. And he came back and he was like, thought about it and no. Oof, that's done. Having the guts to finally confess my true feelings and not be afraid to put myself out there. Got a check mark next to that. I remember the exact night that Facebook Messenger, I had got my nose broken in PE. His name was Billy. Total 10, kind of. I messaged him. I probably was on a lot of painkillers, nose bleeding. Hey, how you doing? And he goes, good. How's your nose? It's broken. I like you. And then just silence. And last on the list, I have tell a joke that other people will laugh at besides myself. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my holiday journal read. It's been a pleasure being here. I hope you too are enjoying a nice croissant Chardonnay that you can chug to. That's delicious. Chardonnay, the drink women and men both want to drink after 6 p.m. This is brought to you by Chardonnay, a delicious cup of white wine that I truly love drinking all the time. Happy holidays!
Coming back to warm our hearts and end this night, this is Jake Seeley with Christmas Melodies.
Well, that's it, everybody. That's been the whole special. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to personally thank everyone involved with the project, everyone who put a video in here, all of the performers, and everybody. I've just enjoyed everyone's contributions so much. Thanks to all the people that were behind the scenes, my loving partner who helped shoot this, Eric Sueyoshi, and Mikiech Nichols for editing, and Sean Streeter for providing the illustrations for the Gollum story. And especially to all of you for watching this, showing up and supporting local artists, and giving money to Midnight Mission and other organizations that lift people out of abject poverty. Beautiful. Gosh, I just gotta say I'm proud of all of you. We did it. We did 2020, and it's been a shit show. So if you've done even one thing this year, even if it's just buying a ticket to this special, you're a success. Pat yourself on the back. You did it. And if you wore masks and social distance, you saved lives. You saved people's lives. You're amazing. So thank you so much, and thank you for getting out the vote and marching for Black Lives. But I can't wait to see you guys in person and give you a big hug and hopefully see you around at all the shows. Thank you so much for watching this special. And from my home to yours, happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much. I went to your house, walked up the stairs. I opened your door without ringing the bell. I walked down the hall into your room where I could smell you, and I position shouldn't be here. Would you forgive me, love, if I danced in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if I stay all afternoon? Oh, I took off my clothes, put on your robe, went through your drawers and I found your cologne. Went to the den, found your CDs, and I played your Joni, and I shouldn't stay long. You might be home soon, shouldn't stay long. Would you forgive me, love, if I danced in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if I stay all afternoon? Oh, I burned your incense, I ran a bath, noticed a letter that sat on your desk. It said, hello, love, I love you so, love. Meet me at midnight and oh, wasn't my writing. I better go soon. It wasn't my writing. So forgive me, love, if I cry in your shower. So forgive me, love, for the salt in your bed. So forgive me, love, if I cry all afternoon. Oh.